So let's see. Oh, okay. So I've got two screens. Can I add you to live on Facebook? Or will it not work?
No, that probably wouldn't work that way.
Okay, no worries.
I know what you mean, because of the TV Garvey, but no, that won't work.
Perfect. So I'm live on Facebook as well. So I'm having a chat with Leanne from Frame Your World. So we're going to discuss all things self-isolation these crazy times. So yeah, where should we begin?
We've actually, well, I was thinking we could go through some of our points, but we've actually, and then answer any questions.
Yeah.
Welcome to everyone who's joining.
Hi.
I'm really excited. We've already got some questions, which is cool. But
yeah, I've got someone DM me a question just now, so I've got it in my head, ready to remember to say.
Do you want to tackle the questions first?
No, let's go through our points and then we'll head with the questions. That's cool.
Well, I kind of feel like it's really good timing because working in social media, I'm sensing a lot of people, and I definitely feel moments of it over the weekend, of just that kind of frustration or that kind of discomfort about, staying home and the unknown, I guess, of what, what's ahead and how long that will be for. So hopefully we can help encourage and speak to that today.
Yeah,
so I think
definitely.
It's a really good time that we're actually having this chat.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, am I still here? Yeah, sorry. No, it's so good. I mean, sometimes, because I find I've set myself a limit to watch the news only once a day, because I found one day when I watched it a couple of times, it's just super overwhelming. There's so much unknown about everything, and just focusing on the positives and what you can do. My friend actually, Becca, she's a practitioner of performing arts. And she's been sharing loads of stuff for all kind of creatives that are kind of out of work at the moment and don't know what to do and how they can build their social, and some tips like that, which is really, really cool. I've seen a lot of creatives actually sharing amazing things to do while working from home, and how to keep busy, because it's just weird getting into a new routine. I think that was the main thing for me, how to balance and not be distracted by cooking or washing, or you know what I mean, because you're at home. It's just such a weird environment. So I think being a community and sharing tips and how to kind of cope is such an important thing, and we're lucky that we have such an amazing community on Instagram, and all the messages and stuff is really cool. So I think that's a major help for everyone.
And how are you finding, what is your morning routine? How does that look for you?
Morning routine, I'm really trying hard to get up and exercise because it's just I'm sitting all the time, and I normally I would try and do at least 10,000 steps a day, because I'm always walking around Oxford for miles. Because it's such a beautiful city as well, you want to walk around it. So I'm trying to, because I'm not walking a lot, I'm trying to make sure I do a really intense kind of exercise in the morning. So I've just been doing YouTube workouts. So trying to exercise, it gets my brain in gear as well. I feel I focus so much more when I start working once I've done some exercise. So trying to exercise, a good healthy breakfast, and then logging on straight away to my other job. So just a little bit of background. I work for a company doing events and comms, so an events and comms assistant. So it's part-time, so I just do a few hours during the day, and then I try and do any social stuff in the evening. So kind of balancing that as well has been really weird. We've set up a little kind of desk situation in our kitchen diner area. So kind of having that work environment and then social environment, fun environment is really important as well, because I think it's so easy to just be I'll take my laptop to my bed and just tap away, but it's just one day I did work in my pajamas and just my whole mindset was just out of sync. So I think that's a big thing for me, just kind of getting into gear, dressing up, putting jewellery on. I know it sounds super silly, but it's just little things in your head to make you kind of focus, I think, are super important. What about you? What's your morning routine look like?
I think, I definitely have, I try to protect the first hour of my day. So I think for me it's really important, the most important time in the morning for me, because I'm a morning person. So I try and protect that morning time, and I'll get up and I'll just have a minute to reflect and kind of regroup and reassess what I'm doing for the day.
Yeah.
I love my coffee. It's kind of my thing. So
I'm a tea person. I've never drunk so much tea in my life.
Do you know what? I used to be a tea person. I would still think of myself as a tea person, but the morning coffee is like
it's so needed.
That's my little sacred time. But I usually I get up and I do that, and I've not been the best personally. I'll be completely transparent.
Yeah.
I've not been the best with getting the exercise routine in the morning, although I love that, and I would it makes sense.
Yeah.
But for me, it's been coffee and journal and just that time to reset.
Yeah.
I think also I loved what you said about getting dressed. It's definitely something I've noticed that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Although I'm quite casual today, but but I usually like even just putting on a dress or something. Like
I went out shopping the other day and I was like, I'm gonna put some makeup on just to go to the food store, just to make myself kind of feel better, because it's just those little routines that make such a difference in your day and how you feel and your mindset. I'm more of a night owl. I'm not a morning person. So I do my kind of like gratitude journal of an evening. So I kind of tend to do like kind of a reflection of an evening. So I find that really good. Yes, Becca. Oh, hi, Becca. I just mentioned Becca actually. She's a practitioner of performing arts and she's got so many resources on creativity and also exercises. So really good stretches and stuff. So definitely check out her Instagram. Don't know if she's still
I will be checking you out because it's an area I need to improve on. Let's be transparent.
No, definitely. Like, this morning as well, Monday morning, you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to get out of bed, but it's literally the best thing. Just get up, exercise, and then you're like raring to go. I see she's commenting. So yeah, so that was morning routines. How about winding down of an evening? How do you find the kind of routine there?
Generally, I'm okay. In fact, let me just put a bit of light on because I feel like it's starting to get quite dark in here.
I am just sitting in front of the window.
I think normally it's fine. I think I like to be completely transparent. The last couple of nights I've been a little bit. I don't feel like I've had the best sleep, which again I kind of sense that's kind of across the board. Like from social today, I kind of get that feeling. And I don't know why. I guess there's just a lot of things to process, but generally 100% protect that last hour of the day, and I think it's really the best sleep I've had is when I've managed to put my phone down.
So hard.
I was actually saying to my friend as well, because like if you think about it, and I was reminded of this, when you're younger, like you have this whole routine where you go to bed, you have like a bath, a book in bed. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like that routine of preparing your brain for shutdown.
Yeah.
And I know, so it's something I'm really trying to be disciplined in this year. It is to really take that time not to scroll, although that's hard.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, for me, that's my kind of goal. Like, I know I need to wind down, and sometimes that's a candle and a shower, like before bed.
Yeah. So nice.
Yeah.
Make it really relaxing, really like taking it down a notch sort of thing. I find night times a lot more harder to wind down, just because like I said, I'm not a morning person. I'm like literally at 10 o'clock at night I could like go out and exercise. I'm just always wide awake and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I had the same the other night. I think I had something like a tea or something before bed, and I think that's because of the caffeine and whatever. I just wasn't thinking. And I was literally wide awake, just sitting there like, what should I do? Started scrolling on Instagram. 2 hours later, I'm like, what am I doing? What am I even looking at? So I find it super hard to switch off of an evening. And especially, again, because you're only in your home environment, you can't go out.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I spent like the whole afternoon in the garden, which was really lovely. Like we did loads of kind of repotting plants, and that like being outside all day and like physically being active and then sitting down and being like, oh, I'm exhausted, that helped me sleep so much more. So if you're lucky enough to have a garden, then that's amazing. I could just see some comments coming in. Love a candle and read before bed. Yeah, I'm a little bit clumsy, so I might not light any candles. But I like the idea. It's great. I love biscuits at night. Ooh, okay. That's cute. I'm actually doing Lent at the moment, so I've given up all sweet snacks. So no biscuits for me, but that's a cute idea. I've been struggling with switching off and sleeping too at the moment. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying they're having really weird dreams. Mm-hmm. I've had a few weird ones. I think it's just the whole, I've had dreams about coronavirus, because I think it's just there's so many things going on in your head, and you don't really know, like, it's the whole lack of routine, I think, again, and the worry and stress, and like everyone's got so many different reasons to be stressed right now, so I can completely understand why everyone's struggling.
Well, like I also remember, I'm no expert or anything, but from my experience of looking into some of the stuff, like our brains process stuff at night, so I guess that's, you know, we're having dreams because there's loads for our brains to sort through and process.
Absolutely.
Usually it's a reflection of that.
Yeah. I just a side note, I just remembered I read this book about a year ago called Why We Sleep. I cannot remember who it was by, but if you type in Why We Sleep, it will come up. And it's such a fantastic book, like explaining all the reasons why sleep is so important. And I definitely recommend if anyone's got time to read books more and right now, it's such an interesting read, and it's not too sciencey, so you can kind of understand it if it's all a bit too much. So I really recommend that book if anyone.
So that's by Matthew Walker.
Oh, thank you. Someone just typed it, actually, Matthew Walker. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, it's such a fascinating book. Like, I read it so quickly, and such interesting insight into why sleep is just crazy good for you.
Yeah, it's underrated. And like, I think also from kind of being entrepreneurial and looking at different business people and listening to different business stuff, sometimes we misinterpret thinking that, if you want to do something, because there's a lot of pressure on people right now. It seemingly, I've had so many conversations with people about wanting to feel productive, which is and like, we think that we have to be, sometimes, I know I've had to relearn and reprogram, that I have to be doing something to actually warrant the time. But might come off on a tangent there, but no,
I completely understand. I had this whole phase of writing to-do lists all the time. Like, I would just be like, if I write it all down, all the things I need to do, it makes me feel better. And then I've realised that I spent so much time writing things down to do that I didn't actually, like, I could have spent all that time doing the things. So I try now to kind of limit my time of thinking about what I'm wanting to do and just kind of doing it. And then, like, the other day I was like, I just ticked off 5 things off the list. Do you know what I mean? So I think overthinking is such a big thing, and we do have this time to think more, which I know can be super scary, because the first couple of days I found it really hard adjusting to being in my brain a lot more. I'm really lucky I live with my mum, so we get on so well. She's my best friend. So, but I can completely understand if you're with a family, members that you don't get on with as much, or if you're on your own, mentally it could be super draining. So I think having your morning routine, evening routine, and just keeping positive is such a big thing.
So true.
Such a big thing.
Important.
Just another thing while I remember, I'm trying to remember things to say, but I actually started a separate Instagram. I'm not sure if anybody's checked it out, but it's called @BecomeYourBestSelf. And I'm sharing everything that I find is positive, and any kind of self-isolation tips on anxiety, any ways for creatives to find more ways to be productive or make money. I'm sharing everything I see on there. I'm trying to post a couple of times a day. It's just literally just kind of brain dumping all information I see, just to be a bit of source of happiness, really, and less stressful. So it's become YA best self, because Become Your Best Self was taken on Instagram. So I'm sharing like all things positive on there just to kind of, and as well it's been really good for me just to kind of be like, oh, there's some good news out there. So definitely check that out.
Is that it there, Hannah?
Yes, yeah, that's it. So that's where I'm
go follow that.
Become your best self. So just sharing like some nice positivity and like anxiety help, like everything, and just like little funny bits as well. Because someone did the the Friends. I don't know if you watch Friends, the TV show. They did the one where they were all quarantined. Someone made like a little art thing, which is so cute. So I shared that on there. So there's some really cute things out there. I've just seen someone's commented, I've been trying to be productive a lot. I'm used to being constantly busy, but on days when I feel down, worried, I've just tried to embrace it and ride the wave because it's such an uncertain time. Oh, that's really cute. That's so true. As much as it's important to be productive, like what you were saying, it's really important as well not to overwhelm ourselves.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I think so easily you can do that.
I think it also is good to be reminded that it comes in waves as well.
100%.
But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're actually going to, next week we're going to talk about tips for staying sane at home.
Yeah, absolutely, Becca.
Yeah.
And just like reading the comments, like, yes, everyone's on the same page.
But like, it's good to have these chats even when we've got that kind of knowledge, because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not perfect. I forget sometimes at the things that I know to do.
Yeah.
And so that's the importance of community and actually coming together.
Absolutely.
And also like managing our expectations. Like, what is our definition of success and productivity?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to look different for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. And as long as you're focusing, I think, on your own... Oh, Leanne's gone. I think focusing on your own goals and not looking at other people and judging yourself against other people is a really big one for me as well.
And so, do you have any thoughts or tips on how you're managing to stay positive, maybe in the more challenging moments, or just in general? Yeah,
I think main one would be not to watch the news more than once a day, because I find it super overwhelming and it's just, there's a lot of negativity. It's really scary and it can kind of take over in your brain and you start kind of thinking, oh my gosh, can I touch anything? Can I go out? Your mind starts spiraling. So definitely limit news watching to once a day and not before you go to sleep. Secondly, for me, because I started the Instagram page with sharing loads of positive content, that's made me feel more positive because I'm looking for positiveness. And because I'm looking at all this content, because of the Instagram algorithm, more positive stuff's coming on my feed. So it's kind of, the more you look at good stuff, the more it comes, sort of thing. And that's like a thing in life anyway. If you look for positivity, you're going to see it in what your day-to-day life is. So I think look for the positives, only watch the news once. Routine is such a big one. Having a great routine every day, so I get up, exercise, get on my laptop, work from home, do something else, just so you know what you're doing. And I had another one, it's gone. What was the other one? Staying positive. Routine and just like patience. It's really weird, we don't know when this is going to end. So I would say while we're in this time, if we're lucky enough to have healthy members of family and friends and yourself, treat this time as a time to reevaluate like who you are and do online courses and just kind of use this thinking time rather than being like, I'm bored. Think of ways you can make it better, sort of thing. So I think they're my main tips. How about you?
Those are really good. I think that's a good question. For me, I've managed to I think I'm creating a lot more content in terms of, content in general. And for passion projects, like my novel that I've been sitting on for too long.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
And then also this last weekend, I kind of had I idea and decided that I'm going to just encourage people. So my passion and my gift, or my strength, is writing, it's words, it's creating things. So I've been using that as an outlet, but also looking for ways to encourage people. So I've got the Note for Lee, which I just asked if there's anyone who needs a bit of encouragement, and just decided I'm going to go and send them some stuff.
So nice.
And then I designed, actually, that it's so bizarre how it comes, but like I must have designed about 40 different prints yesterday for like Train Your World.
That's amazing.
I won't be releasing them all at once. But
yeah, that's so amazing.
For me, the biggest thing, Hannah, is like, is that when I feel discouraged, or when, you know, I find that the way to go through it is to encourage someone else. And so the way I do that, like a lot of the way I live my life, is Frame Your World it was born out of the fact that I was in a difficult place and I was really struggling, and I started to put things in my on my wall and around me that would encourage me, like quotes. So like, this is just another extension of me kind of coping, you know? That's what I do. That's just what I've done from the beginning to now, if that makes sense.
No, that's amazing. And also, like, I definitely love the whole thing of, by sending positivity to other people, it makes you feel better. Like, the best thing is doing something kind for no reason. It's like the best feeling in the world. So, and I love like all your inspirational quotes. I use your notebook all the time. So no, like, and it's just so nice to share that positivity and share that love, because I think we're all in need of it a bit at the moment, aren't we? Let me just see.
And I think that's my thing. Like, I say that because I think if anyone, my big message right now in everything that I'm doing, like behind the scenes, is just, my message is, if you feel discouraged, then reach out and encourage someone else, because you'll find that you'll in turn be encouraged in some way or form. And hey, it's just good to be kind, right?
Yeah, just on that point as well, it's really funny, but me and Mum have put a spreadsheet together of all our family and friends, and every day we tick off who we've just like messaged, called, video called, and it sounds a bit with the spreadsheet, but it's just to make sure that we're checking in with everyone, especially ones we know that are living on their own or just could do with a bit more support, and it just makes sure that you keep in contact with family and friends. And I definitely recommend, if anyone else wants to do that, it doesn't have to be a spreadsheet, it could just be a ticking list. But I've been doing it, and it's so good, because then you look and you think, oh my gosh, I spoke to all these people today, that's made me feel better, I know that will make them feel better, and it's just like a really nice thing to do. So like yesterday I video called with my like nana, cousin, my 2 uncles and my auntie, and it was just so lovely, because obviously we can't see each other, and just catching up or playing a game virtually. If anyone's got a house party, it's been very fun. So
I need to download House Party. I've heard so many fun things from it.
It's quite fun. Once you work out what to do. When I first went on it, I was staring and realised people were looking at me, and I was looking at my phone like this. So I just saw that, I think there was a question that popped up. Let me go back. Rarify Vintage. Hey girls, question about how you're dealing with keeping your downtime fun, interesting. Ooh, I like that question.
I like it.
Do you want, have you got any ideas? Do you want to pop on that one? Okay. Yeah.
For me, how keep your downtime fun and interesting? Well, actually, I don't know. I find that I'm quite a creative person, so once I'm finished work, it's quite easy for me. Well, I like to try and protect the first couple of hours and have dinner and just relax for a bit.
Yeah.
And then it might be that it varies, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it might be I want to cut vegetables and do something with my hands. I just like to cook something and it just relaxes me. Or it might be watching a show that I enjoy. Or it might be working a little way on creating some kind of content for Frame Your World or Leanne McDuff. So it varies for me. How would you answer that?
Well, for me, I think I found that I've been on my phone or laptop or screens a lot at the moment, and I'm finding like I'm sitting there like with my eyes going funny, and I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. So having time away from screens, I keep saying about to-do lists, but I did write a bit of a list, like a massive list of just all ideas of things I can do while I'm at home. So it could be doing, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, you know, getting outside, or like looking at plants instead of screens is a really good one. Cooking and trying out new recipes, that's another really good one. Playing games. Like we found a load of board games, and I said like we should just kind of have a Scrabble game just for why not, you know what I mean?
Love Scrabble.
You know, like Monopoly is my personal favourite, but I'm very competitive, so I have to play in a good mood. What else? If you can go out and exercise, just even for a stroll, I think just time, for me, I've always found that when I'm outside I do feel much more positive, and I feel refreshed. So doing that as much as possible. If you don't want to be on the screen, calling someone as well. Just kind of connecting with people and doing things that you love that don't involve work.
That's it. I think also I totally forgot. I forgot a few things, and I'm feeling really passionate, so I'm going to share them.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I'm like, I think I've also, so I've got weekly, I have this thing called Sisterhood Group, so we meet every 2 weeks, but actually with COVID, we are now doing virtual hangouts, and
cool.
we meet that through Facebook. I know loads of people have been doing Zoom things, and and also, what was the other one? Oh my gosh, Scrabble. I've been obsessed with Scrabble on my phone.
Oh, can you get it on your phone? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and you can play with your friends, you can play with random people. Yeah. It's just...
That's so fun.
It's really fun. I love it.
I'll have to check out the Scrabble. I'm just saying, I think we've got another question come up. Hello, hope you're well. Any advice on how to manage family members that are really negative and panicky these times? How would you help? Oh, that's a hard one. That must be awful, first of all. I know that a lot of people, their home environment isn't the best. I'm lucky that mine is, so I don't have that struggle. But I think having your own space is really important. If you have like your own room in the house or something, making that a really positive place, make it a calm place. So if it's really untidy or something, kind of doing a really big clear out. I went through my whole wardrobe and I took out 4 big bin bags of clothes I'm going to give to charity once charity shops are open again. So having a really good clear out might be really good, might be cleansing as well for your mind. Making your room like a kind of sanctuary, candles, meditation, just bringing it all down, making it calm. Follow pages and watch videos of things that make you feel happier, just to take your mind off things. And listen, music as well, it's a really good one. I always find if I put on I've got like a happy playlist on Spotify I created, and whenever I put it on and I'm just like dancing to my tunes, that always puts me in a really good mood, so I would definitely try that. What about you? Anything you would suggest?
So I've got some experience, and I think the important thing is to remember that we can only be responsible for ourselves. We can't necessarily be responsible for how someone else will respond. But like you said, we can control our environment, so we can, have that space where we allow ourselves, either if we're in the same house with that person, or if they're perhaps not in the same house but we're checking in because they're family, it's managing our expectations about how they're going to respond, but knowing that we're not responsible for how they respond. So I think, and obviously if it's very consuming, then you might want to limit that or offset that with spending time connecting with your friends, whether that's through Facebook, Zoom, or on the phone. So it's getting the balance and making sure those friends, of course, as well, are friends that kind of feed you rather than drain you.
Yeah,
not in
100%.
we all have different functions. Our friendships are very different. They're all there for different reasons. So it's just looking at the balance and managing, I would say, is managing our own expectations.
Yeah.
It's tricky though. It's really tricky.
Yeah, and I can imagine it must be such anxiety for people that don't know when this is going to end. But just kind of trying to live in the present a little bit as well, I think might help.
And also, you know, we can, when someone's been negative, I mean, I don't know if this phrase doesn't really fit, but in my head it's like kill them with kindness. Like, you can choose to go, you know, you don't have to respond with negativity, but you can choose to respond with love. Or just, you know, maybe that'll help bring that person out of it, who knows.
Yeah, that's so true. Did you have any questions that you got before we had this video?
Yes. So there's one here, from Gojo Training, that asked us, what and who inspires you?
Ooh. I think if I had to put it down to one person, the first person that really inspired me was Tony Robbins. He's like a motivational speaker. I'll cut this story short. I was watching an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Love that program.
Love it.
And I think it was an episode, and Courtney was being really positive, and all the girls were like, "Why is she being so positive? It's really annoying." And I was like hearing, and I was like, oh, "I love these quotes." You know, when you just have a moment where you're like, "Oh, this is a bit of me." And she was like, "Oh, I've been watching Tony Robbins videos and never heard of him." Started watching a load of videos. Literally was one of those like, oh my goodness moments. Bought his books, constantly watching his videos, and just his way of putting things in life, his podcasts. I find his voice very relaxing as well. Very soothing. So for me, I think he's been the biggest inspiration. Just things like coping with your emotions and what they mean, and not taking them kind of too seriously, and understanding what they mean. Things like that. Just simple quotes. My favourite quote in the world is by him. It's "Happiness is progress," which I just live by. So he would be probably my biggest inspiration, along with the Kardashians, as we've said it now. How about you? Who's your inspiration?
Oh gosh, I'm that kind of person when they say, "Oh, what's your favourite colour?" and I'll be like, "The rainbow." Everyone.
So many people. I know it's hard to pick one.
But yeah, that's a good question. Gosh, I forgot what it was now, but I put this on my feed, and this is one of my favourite quotes. I think I'm inspired by a lot of people. I'm inspired by I don't know, I'm inspired by a lot of people actually, but here's my favourite quote. I'll just
tell us it.
It's never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And that was by, I think it's Margaret Mead.
Okay. I'm going to have to look that up.
I love it. I just love the power of like...
Yeah,
community.
So powerful.
So I'm inspired by many people, to be honest. People who have a goal, who are kind, who are loving. Like, there's so many people in my world that, and also, I'm inspired by people like Gary Vee and...
Yes, we're both such big fans of Gary Vee. Whenever we share content, we're always like liking it.
I know. When we caught up, I just kind of thought, oh, well, I mean, I like the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm sorry, people, for those who want to judge me, but I like it.
We all like different things.
But I thought we had a lot of kindred interests, which was cool. People, like, all walks of life.
Absolutely.
Sorry if that's a boring answer.
No, that's a good one. Giovanna has also messaged and said, what are you grateful for at the moment?
Good question, Giovanna. For me, I mean, I'm grateful that I've got a job that I can work from home. I work for a publishing company as a social media manager, and I'm grateful also that I have a flat, a home, because before because I have a little bit more space. So to breathe. So I'm grateful for those things.
Definitely.
Yeah. And friends and family, I can't not say that.
I know. I know, even though we can't see them, which is weird and sad at times, but being able to connect, like, technology is amazing. Like, if this had happened and we didn't all have phones or internet or anything, can you imagine? I don't know what... I've always had technology, so the thought of, like, us not having all of this would be so weird to me. So I think grateful for that and being able to connect with our families and friends. But definitely health I'm grateful for as well, because I know a lot of people who are really scared and have got family and friends that aren't very well at the moment with coronavirus. So definitely grateful to be happy and healthy.
Yeah. And I should just get in, I'm also very grateful for my other half, who I'm actually in isolation with, so it's great. I should say that because he's been looking after me today.
Aww.
If there's anyone who heard the little voice there, just send me.
I just thought of the question that I was trying to remember. Someone messaged me earlier, Hannah, another Hannah. She said that someone's called it. She said that about new recipes. Any new recipes you've tried cooking? Anything that you recommend?
Well, funny you should say that, because tonight I'm having... it's a bit of a cheat, but I don't always have a lot of time to cook. I like cooking, but I don't always have a lot of time. So my new recipe at the moment, which is my version of Turtle Bay. I love going to Turtle Bay.
Okay. I've only been once, I think. I had like a stew, which was quite good.
It's so good.
Oh, okay. After try it again.
It. I usually get the Trini curry that I love, but I'm making a kind of jerk chicken with halloumi, basically my own halloumi fries. So yeah.
That sounds so good. I'm getting so hungry.
If you want the recipe, DM me.
Okay, will do. I've actually got a really good... I posted about it the other day. So I watched Saturday Kitchen. It's on BBC, if anyone seen it. They've been doing really good stuff where they're taking things that you might have in your cupboard and cooking with them at this time. So they had a recipe by a chef called Adam Bryant, I want to say. And it was a sardine bolognese. So literally just a tin of sardines, which I was able to get when I last went to Sainsbury's. If you don't like fish though, you could literally do it with mince, you could just do it with vegetables, whatever. Literally took 20 minutes. If you're lucky enough to get hold of pasta as well at this time, it was so delicious. And you know, when something's so rich, I felt like I was back in a restaurant. It was just like, it was one of those, but it was so delicious. I really recommend. If anybody wants a recipe, I can quickly DM anyone, so just let me know. But that was really good. Just finding ways to use as little ingredients as possible to make things last longer as well. We made an amazing sweet potato and lentil dal the other week, and we had it because there's only two of us and we always end up making so much food. So we had it for 2 days with rice, and then Mum made amazing flatbreads for the last day. So it ended up lasting us 3 days, which was amazing. So if you can do anything that lasts a couple of days, I think that's really good as well.
Do you know, also I was thinking if you have sweet potato or potato, or you buy carrots and you've got a few left over, it's very practical, but I'm about to do that with some that I have in the cupboard, to cut them up and pop them in the freezer because it's veg. Yes,
that's such a good idea. Yeah, so we made lasagna the other week and we've got it in the freezer, and I'm just so excited to be able to eat it again. Because especially if you've made something you really like and you're I don't want to overeat because it'll just be a waste, pop it in the freezer is such a good idea, and definitely people should be doing more. So yeah, I'm going to have to head off soon because I have dinner to be getting to.
Yeah, well, I've just seen the time.
I know, just thinking about food is just, I was just oh my gosh, I need to eat. I'm having noodle stir fry today.
Oh, so lovely.
What are you having?
I'm going to have my Caribbean jerk chicken with rice and peas.
Oh, so good. Oh my god, I'm so hungry now. Food is a great way to keep busy, try new recipes and something different. I've been baking like crazy and asking friends for new recipes to try. Oh, that's really cute. Yeah, baking, I really can't. After Easter, when I'm off Lent and I can eat sugar again, I definitely want to bake so much stuff.
Banana bread. Oh my gosh.
It's my favourite thing.
Oh, banana bread toasted
Ooh,
with butter.
oh god, that sounds
But anyway,
so
sorry
good.
about that. After Easter.
Yes, yeah. It's only a week, so I'll be fine. But yeah, no, but I love banana bread, and because we're allowed to come off Lent on a Sunday. It's this really weird rule.
Oh.
So we made an apple tart tatin 2 weeks ago, and it was just divine. So I'm really excited, and we've got a lot of Easter eggs in the house that we pre-bought that we can't give to family and friends anymore. So we might have to melt some of them down and like make something with them. So definitely try and do that.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. Was there any other questions you had, or shall we?
No, I think that was. Oh, actually, let me double check. No.
Yeah.
I can't quite work out what this one is.
Okay.
Those were just nice
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that was all. But
okay, perfect. Oh no, it was so good chatting, and I hope that some of kind of the positive comments can help and make us all feel a bit better. But definitely for me anyway, if anyone wants to message me or comment or anything, just give me a DM. Always open, and we can get through this together much easier than if we get through it on our own. So I hope the positivity has helped anyone that's feeling a bit down today.
Thank you so much, Hannah. It's been such a gift.
It's been so nice chatting and sharing just all things positivity. And if anyone here's one of my followers, please check out Leanne's Frame Your World, because it's just full of inspirational goodness. I'm going to try and save this and post it on my OGTV. I'm also on Facebook Live right now, so I'm going to try and record it, try and put it on Instagram and YouTube so people can watch it later on. So fingers crossed, because these lives stress me out afterwards. I never know which button to click to save it.
I'll try as well.
Okay.
And also, if anyone, tomorrow I'm launching a new episode of the Frame Your World podcast, and it's now also going live on YouTube at the same time, which is pretty cool.
Exciting.
So hopefully we can continue the encouragement, and of course, Hannah, please do come back, because it would be great to have you on. I'm sure it's been really helpful. Definitely.
Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening, everyone, and stay safe, stay positive. Lots of love.
That's all.
To the world. Bye.